rupees. So you need to know the value of your property, physical property. Then only you can rent it out, you can sell it, you can buy it. Before buying and selling, you need to know the value of the property. If it is a very important location, its value would be high. So similarly, intellectual property, if it has a lot of industrial potential in the sense that use of this intellectual property will enhance the profitability of a company by using the intellectual property, by using the patent or the technology to patent. The company will add more new features to the product and would uh, get the cost reduction done. Both ways, the company's profit will increase. Therefore, the valuation of intellectual property need to be understood. Or the valuation on intellectual property is very difficult as compared to your house or gold. You got a gold chain. If it is 10 grams, if you had sold a 10-gram gold chain in 4 or 5 months back, 6 months back, that time the gold price was 54,000 rupees per 10 grams. Now it is 46,000 rupees per 10 gram. So you can sell, if it is 46,000 per 10 gram, your gold chain is 10 grams. So 46,000 minus 10%, maybe in 42,000 you can sell it. It is easy to do the valuation of a tangible property, physical property, house, movable or immovable. If you got a car, you want to sell it, the car 24 is there too. They will come and value that this is a 10 lakh rupees car you bought, but now you can sell it in 6 lakh or 4 lakhs or 3 lakhs, whatever it is. So for the physical property, it is very easy to do valuation, but for intellectual property, it is very difficult to do the valuation, and therefore we are talking about this particular aspect. The format of presentation would be valuation of IP, more focus to patents, then difficulty in valuation of intellectual property, then basic valuation methods, then IP specific methods, and summary then itself for valuation of IP. How do you actually value the IP? We'll be talking about the valuation of patents, designs, trademark, copyright related rights. Examples of early patent transactions. Henry Woodward was a Canadian medical student developing devices for medical field. He was the inventor of this patent. ये जो patent यहाँ पर दिया हुआ है, Thomas Edison bought the patent along with many others. So Thomas Edison, who invented the bulb, incandescent lamp, Thomas Edison. And 75 years ago, this US patent number this, in 1942, Eddie Lamar, Hollywood darling actress. You can see how beautiful she is. Actress by day, inventor by night. She was doing acting in the daytime and she was an inventor in the night in her own personal time. In the night, she was very fond of invention and a co-inventor of frequency hopping, the basis of today's communication systems. They eventually sold this patent 75 years ago to Bell Labs. Bell Labs is number one in the world on all the telephony and all that. So an actress who was doing inventions in the night sold her patent to Bell Labs 75 years ago, 1942. Example of patent in the oil sector. Indian Oil Corporation and other oil companies are there. For them, it is very important. A universal underground hydro slotting perforation system controlled by working fluid pressure for activation and intensification of gas, oil, and hydrogeological wells. So this is a patent number in US patent and all that in 2014. So all the patents need to be valued. Now similarly, the value of trademark. Indian Oil. If Indian Oil Corporation sells the Indian Oil Corporation trademark, how much they would get? Hindustan Petroleum, Bharat Petroleum, Royal Dutch Shell Company. Earlier in India, we had Burma Shell and all that. Then Exxon, Saudi Aramco, Chevron Corporate. Then Canon, Brown, Kellogg, you all use the Kellogg cornflakes and all that. Google, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Unilever, Zillow, Tesco, British retailing, out, like uh, there is the retail outlets, chain of retail outlets, Tesco and Britain. So these are all the things. The world's most valuable brands. Apple brand value in 2020 in billion dollar, $241.2 billion. In the past 1 year change plus 17%. Brand revenue in billion, $260.2 billion US dollar. This is the technology industry. Apple, Google, $207 billion, Microsoft, $160 billion, Amazon, $135 billion, Facebook, $70 billion, Coca-Cola, $64 billion, Disney, $61 billion, Samsung, $40 billion, Louis Vuitton. It is a luxury brand of France, $47.2 billion, McDonald's, 46, Toyota, 41, Intel, 39, Nike, $39.1 billion. These are the industries in which you can see that top 5 brands are in the technology. Then beverages, leisure, technology, luxury, restaurants, automotive, again technology, apparel. These are the just to give you the idea that what is the value of a particular brand. Louis Vuitton is the pre-owned Louis Vuitton Dodo 2005 teddy bear. Teddy bear you all are aware of. Its price is $23,833. This particular teddy bear, if it is branded with this brand, Hermes 2011 pre-owned Cali 35 centimeter picnic bag. It was sold. The normal price was 110,000. That means $110,642. So, depending on the trademark, the products are priced accordingly, and that is the importance of value of trademark. I think this has given you some idea about it. How do you feel about it? Importance of value of IP, trademark or patent. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
I'm audible now.
Yes, sir.
So you can see that how the value of a patent or trademark can affect or influence the price of the product.
Yeah.
So you wrote on there football. The football which was used in the World Cup, the Soccer World Cup in 1998. It is being sold at $5,935. एक फुटबॉल है 5,009, मतलब ये 3.5 लाख रुपए का है फुटबॉल, है ना, 3.5-4 लाख रुपए का फुटबॉल है. Now I am coming to the theory of it. Okay, after giving you some couple of examples. Price of intellectual property is a function of xi, xi variables, is variable, x is an variable which influence the price of intellectual property. So xi, that is x1, can be purpose of creating IP. If you are if the purpose of creating IP is commercial purpose, it will have a high price. If it is non-commercial purpose like IIT, if IIT Delhi is creating some intellectual property, some research, invention, patenting, it will be technology will be transferred at a much lower price. So what is the purpose of creating IP? In IIT, PhD scholars are doing PhD, MTech are doing their MTech, and in the process of their getting a degree, and professors are guiding them. So in the process of professor guiding a PhD scholar and some new research coming out, so that is the purpose of their, that is the purpose of research degree of the PhD degree to the research scholar, MTech degree to the MTech student. But in commercial organizations, where the R&D department employs 5,000 people, 10,000 people, so these 5 or 10,000 people are doing research, so their intellectual property will be very highly priced. Then who owns the IP, intellectual property? MNC, it will be very highly priced. SME, small medium enterprise, or academic institution, or NGO. NGO may license the intellectual property if it is there with them at 1 rupee license fee. 1 rupee means a notional fee. Then what is the extent of interest or in commercializing intellectual property? The extent of interest, if the IP owner has strong interest in commercialization of the IP, it would fetch them higher value. And if they have no interest in commercialization of IP, as the case is typically with most of the academic institutions, then it will have a low value. Then bargaining power and interest in getting the best price. If you bargain for a higher price for technology transfer and licensing fee, then you will get a better price or better value for the IP, and how much you are interested in getting the best price. That is higher price. Then patience. If you are in a hurry कि भाई जो मिलता है उसको license कर दो. IIT को कोई, there is some patent in IIT and somebody comes कि can you give me in 5 लाख रुपए यूज कर, बड़ा अच्छा होगा. पिछले आज तक तो IIT में कोई 2 लाख का भी नहीं बिका है. मतलब है कि लाइसेंस नहीं हुई है, they are giving 5 lakh, चलो just give it. You don't have patience. But if you know that your invention is very good and it can get you easily 2 crore rupees, then you start bargaining with 5 crore rupees. Okay, come down to 2 crore rupees or 1 crore rupees, but you start, quoting a higher price. Then in the process of bargaining, you reduce the price. Then licensing officers' skills, efforts, and experience. The person who is going to license your intellectual property is a competent person with better skills and who makes better efforts, and experienced person, you will get you a higher value for your IP when you do the technology transfer. Now there is a difference between price and valuation. Value may be high, but price may be low, and vice versa. If you have any doubt on anything, you can ask me. You can stop me anywhere. Okay. Then IP assets valuation is difficult. This is very important that IP assets valuation is difficult, as I told you in the beginning, because they are not factory produced. Intellectual property is a patent, which every patent is new patent. In factory, the valuation of a product is easy. Suppose the average cost of production of a this pen drive is 300 rupees. You put the price 300 plus 200 rupees profit margin and other cost of miscellaneous cost. You put it 600 rupees the price of the pen drive, and you produce pen drive in thousands and lakhs and millions. So it is easy, but each IP product is new in all respects. No two intellectual properties, no two patents are similar, and therefore the difficulties of intellectual property valuation are very high. High difficulties are there. Then next is that IPR transfers, intellectual property transfers, are often caused by unique strategic considerations. You have got IP, but which has got very high value, but you don't want to transfer the technology based on the patent, because you are yourself using the patent, and if you license it to somebody else, they will also make a similar patent and may sell the product at a lower price than your price. So you will not have that benefit from utilizing your own patent and technology in your own company, so you don't want to license it. It is a strategic consideration. So such strategic considerations are there when you go for technology transfer and patent, uh, you know, uh, your technology transfer and uh, licensing your technology. So next is the inadequacy of past IP price information. Which patent was licensed to which company at what price? The price at which it was licensed remains confidential between the two parties. It is not easily revealed, and you do not know. You don't know that this particular patent was technology was transferred to someone at what price. You don't know the price because that was something between, confrontation between two parties. So such information is not available in public domain. But how such information comes little bit indirectly is that suppose one person is working in one company, he leaves the company for a higher position, a better package, he goes to another company. So he would have that information of the previous company. Then after 5 years, he joins a third company. So he would have the adequate knowledge about so many patents prices in so many previous positions he had worked. So this way the practitioners have got a better knowledge than academicians in this respect. We are not working anywhere, nobody tells us. We got a good close friend, a person maybe, but he or she will not tell me what was the price of the IP or technology transfer because of the confidential nature of the strategic considerations of the company where he or she is working. So these are the problems which I have mentioned you. And shall I move ahead?
Yes, sir.
So there is a company, you may see the website y2.com and sorry, yet2.com, yet to do, yet to do, yet2.com operates at the hub of the global technology marketplace in 1999. It is an open innovation services company for international corporate clients. It has got a global network. Millions of users of online technology marketplace are using it. The proprietary database of several million innovative technologies and technology needs are there. So what happens, suppose you are a company, you want some particular technology, you post your requirement in yet2.com, and as per their system you post it. And if you are interested in buying some patent or technology, you say that you are interested in this. So your requirement as well as whatever you have got a IP and you want to put it in public domain through licensing, uh, both are known to people. So those who are interested in it, they can contact you to sell their technology or buy your technology. So this is what is done by the yet2.com. It has got offices in North America, Europe, and Asia. It provides technology transfer services and anonymous patent buying. That means they will get a patent, they'll buy a patent uh, uh, as an anonymous client. They will not say that suppose the company is yet2.com, the IBM wants my patent. If IBM comes to me, I will say, okay, I will ask them 1 crore rupees. But if yet2.com comes to me, I say, if 40, I should get minimum of 40 lakhs rupees. Because, there is a concept, you see the face and tell the price. So this is what happens many times. So they keep it anonymous patent buying system. And there are hundreds of deals leading to hundreds of millions of dollars in value to clients. And continuous search for novel technologies on behalf of the customers is done by the yet2.com as an intermediary. Then if you have an innovative commercially worthy technology, contact Ecto.com. Okay. Now I come to the valuation methods. There are three basic valuation methods. There are some advantages and some disadvantages in each of them, and we'll discuss that. One is the cost based, other is the market based, third is the income based. Now the cost based method. The cost based method is, it is based on the cost to replicate. That means if you have to repeat the same invention, how much it would cost you. So all the cost incurred in it would be taken into account, and it may or may not be the most appropriate value because it's based on cost. Something based on cost is something which you say that I paid, I have incurred so much cost, so I should get this much by licensing the patent or the technology. So it has no relationship with the utility or the market value. And in this process, there are some certain very good, high value inventions which are there in academic institutions, which are licensed at a very low price. Because we say, "Ki, chalo, theek hai, I am getting 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, good enough. Otherwise, I may not get anything." But its value may be 10 crore rupees in the commercial system. The same invention is there by a multinational, and they decide to license it out in a limited manner for production in particular, say, African region. And so they will transfer the technology to a company in 50 crore rupees. What IIT or any university in India would license 5 lakh rupees, they will license in 5 crore rupees. So uh, that is because it's usefulness, potential profits to the company by virtue of utilizing the technology given in the patent. Now, independent development is not a defense to patent. This is something which is very controversial also, that independent development, uh, at present it is not defense to patent. That means if you have done some invention independently, or I can say independent development, independent invention. So independent invention or development, research development is not a defense to patent. Means that what happens, uh, you say that you have developed it independently. Now, other person has filed a patent earlier than you, and when the patent was filed yesterday, and today you file a patent based on your independent invention, identical thing, same thing, without knowing that somebody else has also filed it. So you will, and you start using it. Now, uh, there are different types of systems. In most of the countries, the law is that uh, they will say that yours is, uh, you are infringing the patent of somebody else. So independent development or independent invention is not a defense to patent infringement. Okay. So independent invention development is not a defense to patent infringement. You cannot defend yourself that yours is the own invention, independent invention. So there's a lot of articles in it in the Western USA and UK IPR journals talking about this aspect. It remains always debatable, but under the present laws, it is not a defense in case of, it will always be considered as patent infringement, although you have done everything independently. Then degree of technology obsolescence of IP. Please, if you feel any thing, I can explain further. So degree of technology obsolescence of IP, particularly the patents. Now, if the obsolescence rate is very high, every 3 months the technology becomes obsolete. In that case, what will be the value of IP? It will be high or low? Tell me.
Well, technology will be absolute, and then it will be low, sir.
The value will be low because you don't want to pay very high price for technology which is going to be obsolete in 3 months' time. So there you cannot recover the cost. Okay. So these are so many issues which are there, other issues in the cost-based valuation methodology, but still it is one of the methods. Second is the market-based
Sir,
valuation. Yes.
sir, there is a farmer law that protects the farmer if farmer invents something that is already patentable in India. So does it in the problem that you have said that independent invention will safeguard our farmers that they produce something? For example, new plant a variant that is already in the market, a farmer that develops that under the farmer law that we have.
Absolutely right. We have given special, uh, uh, you know, uh, we have protected our farmers' rights. The farmer says, I have done it independently over past 10 years. Every crop, because in 10 years, every crop he does something. And this is what I am doing, and I am producing my own. So, a commercial company cannot take a police action for his arrest. Okay. But that is a farmer's thing because farmer is very holy cow in India. They can block the national highways for 1 year. You may have any problem. They say that the law should be withdrawn. Now, the law which has been passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and signed by the president, something a law has become a law. A group of say 1% people in India would also constitute how many? Tell me. 140 crore people. So 140 crore people. So 1% would be 140 lakh. That means 1.4 crore. So 1.4 crore people, 1% people don't agree. And suppose 0.1% people, 99.9% agree, but 0.1% people don't agree. So that will be 14 lakh people. And 14 lakh people can take the country to ransom. And at present, there are about a few thousand people who are, for their best interest, they are doing it. But farmer is farmer. Farmers Protection Act, it protects them. But if you do it in the industry, sorry, you will have to face the music. If you do it, if you have somebody else has got a patent, it might be your independent invention, but still it will be considered as infringement. Okay, so now you have to negotiate with that party, and uh, because you know that you know uh, the other company and your company both are in the similar boat. Sometimes it may be the situation the other way around. So they say ठीक है आप use कीजिए but मुझे जो if I'm charging a commercial rate of technology transfer from any other company of 10%, you give me 2%. Okay, but it will be uh, only by the patent is to the basic first inventor. First inventor is the person who has filed the patent application earlier than the other people on the same invention. In USA, it was an exception. They had a system of first to invent. The rest of the world was first to file. That means a person who files the patent application first will get the patent. But in USA, it was the other way around. If you can prove that your invention was done earlier than the other person invention, whereas other person has filed the patent application earlier than you, but your invention is earlier than his invention, you can prove through your lab records. On this date in the evening we had done this, and this complete record you produce in the code. So they will say, yes, you are the earlier inventor, so you get the patent. But that will not be the case in other countries. In all other countries, it is the first to file. We'll file it first, we'll get it. Now, the market-based valuation methodology is based on the market transactions involving comparable assets with addition to differences in the different products. So, it is the market valuation-based valuation. So, what was the market value of a particular technology transfer? Based on that, you can do some adjustments depending on the strength of the invention or technology. It requires an active and competitive market and sufficient number of similar exchanges and publicly available price information. And all these three things are a bit difficult to have. But there is a possibility of intellectual property stock exchange. Yetto.com is one such place, which is some kind of an exchange between the buyer and seller of the IP. But it is not a stock exchange, but it is a place where you can buy and sell your intellectual property. And the problem in this case is the non-comparability of the IP. No two intellectual property are the same. No two patents are identical. Some will be more important, some will be less important. So comparatively, no, you cannot compare two intellectual properties, two trademarks, or two patents, or two designs. It is not possible to compare. So these are some of the limitations. Then income-based valuation methodologies are there. In income-based, what we do, we calculate the net present value. And net present value method is a discounted net cash flow of royalty, profits, savings, etc. How do you calculate it? It is the price premium due to intellectual property. That means you are selling a product with the new invention, patented product, at a higher price. Then if you are using the IP, you can reduce your cost savings are there, or relief from royalty if it is your own intellectual property, your own invention. You are not giving any royalty to anyone, it is your own ownership. Then the residual earnings. What are the residual earnings when you use the IP? So these are all the aspects which are important when you talk about the income-based valuation methodology. What you do, you find out that a patent is there. A patent is leading to suppose your annual turnover is 10 crore rupees. Now, when you think it was 9 crore last year, it was 10 crore, before that was 9, before that 8 crore. So annually you are growing it by 1 crore approximately per year. So from 10, last year it was 10, this year your turnover is 13 crore. As per the past trend, it would have been 11 crore, but now it is 13 crore. So 2 crore rupees is the value of the patent. So that 2 crore rupees annually, next year, next to next year, even next year, for approximately next 5 years, you say what is the present value? So say 2 crore rupees of today is equal to how much of 2 crore rupees after 2 years is equal to what is the present value? Do you have this idea of the net present value? Yes or no?
So can you repeat, sir?
Do you have the idea about net present value?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many don't know? Just tell me. Only one person or more than one? Achha, let me just very briefly tell you what is the present meaning of net present value. I ask you to give me a loan of 1 lakh rupees for 1 year. So you give me 1 lakh rupees, after 1 year I return you 1 lakh rupees. Is it the same 1 lakh rupees?
No, sir.
If you have given me at 10% rate of interest, so how much I should return you?
So 1.1.
1.1 lakh, 1 lakh 10,000 rupees. Okay. So 1 lakh 10,000 rupees after 1 year is equal to 1 lakh rupees today. Okay. If you return after 2 years, if I return 1 lakh rupees to you after 2 years, how much should I return?
1,21,000.
Very good, very correct. So how do you get 1.21 lakhs or 1,21,000? That is 1 lakh divided by 1 point R. R is the rate of interest. Like 0.10 is 10%. So 1 plus R square. So 1 lakh divided by 1.1 for 1 year. 1 lakh divided by 1.1 square. Okay, 1 plus 0.1 square, that is 1.21. Okay, so this is how you calculate the net present value. So 1.21 lakh after 2 years is equal to 1 lakh today. 1.1 lakh after 1 year is equal to 1 lakh today. So this is how the future value, future earnings, net earnings are discounted to find out their present value. So if the future earning is 1.21 lakh after 2 years, this is equal to 1 lakh this year present. If it is 1.1 lakh after 1 year, this is equal to 1 lakh today. Okay, so the concept has been understood by everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So whatever the future value, you divide that future value. Maybe it is 10 crore, 20 crore, 50 crore, 100 crore, 95 crore. Divide that. If it is after 5 years, you divide that by 1 plus R to the power 5. If it is after 4 years, you divide it by your that particular year's net cash uh, flow. That means net benefit, net profit. Divide that by 1 plus R to the power 4. If it is after 3 years, that amount divided by 1 plus R to the 1 plus R cube. The 1 plus R in the bracket, then put a cube. If it is 2 years, you divide that by 1 plus R in the bracket and bracket to the power 2. If it is after 1 year, you do it 1 plus R in the bracket to the power 1, which is equal to 1 plus R, and R is 0.1. So it is 1.1. Okay, ये concept clear हो गया है net present value का कि future की value को present value में discount करते हैं हम लोग. So this is the method for this income based valuation method, and you have to adjust for the technology obsolescence and market risk. So these are the additional factors you have to do it in the finding out the present value. In this particular method, the problem is of risk and uncertainty. That is especially if no track record, which is not applicable to new IP or strategic IP helpful competitive advantage. So the risk and uncertainty is there because there is no track record of this. So these are the difficulties and problems in these different methods cost-based, market-based, and income-based valuation methods. Now we come to the specific intellectual property valuation methodology. After the three basic methods, traditional methods, we come to specific intellectual property valuation methods. And these are, one is the 25% rule. Okay. The 25% rule, second industry standards, then rating and ranking, then surrogate measures, and Monte Carlo analysis, then real options, then others. So these are the some methods which we'll discuss one by one. So what is the 25% rule? The 25% rule is the 25% rule is licensor should receive 25% of license fees gross profit attributable to the licensed intellectual property. You have got a patent, you do the license of your technology, and the other party, you are the licensor because you are licensing, and the person who is taking the license, the licensee. So the licensee who has taken the license from the licensor, he gets say 100 crore rupees more profit. So 25% of the 100 crore additional profit earned because of the IP licensing. So additional profit due to IP licensing should be given to you, to the licensor, at the rate 25%. Now, this is not a valuation method, it is an apportionment. Okay, it is the apportionment rule, not the valuation rule. What is apportionment? कि उसको 100 रुपये का फायदा हुआ, 25% आपको देगा वो. How does he distributes his additional income due to patent? So he will give you 25%. So that is apportionment. And this is only a rule of thumb, and the 25% can be adjusted. 25%, the percentage can be adjusted up or down to reflect parties' respective investments and risk in licensed technology. It can be 20%, can be 30%. So it is flexible, but it is a rule of thumb. Thumb rule आपने पढ़ा होगा ना physics में कई बार. The thumb rule, so 25% of the your benefit due to having the patented technology from the licensor. Now,
Sir, one question.
yeah,
So, they also get the royalty also, right? So then in this case, they will not get the royalty if they get in this profit margin.
same thing. You can, it is a rule of thumb. Royalty, suppose you are, that person is getting, suppose their product is 100 rupees. And earlier he was selling a 100 rupees product, but now he is selling a same product in 150 rupees because the licensed technology is there. It is a better featured product. So additional profit to him is 50 rupees. And in the 50 rupees, how much you should get? 25%, 12.5%.
Okay. It means same thing, sir.
It means the same. So if it is a outright transfer, it is a, every year he is getting that much and you are also getting that much. So you license it at 12.5% royalty fee. Okay. Is that clear?
Okay,
to
sir.
all?
Yes, sir.
So now there are a few more things. It is better for process than product technology because of allocation problems. In the process technology, it leads to reduction in cost of production. The process would always be generally leading to reduction in cost of production, which is very easily measurable. Whereas if it is a product technology or a patented product, then it causes a little bit of difficulty of what would be the you have to do demand forecasting. Say last year वो कहता है कि डिमांड मेरा 1 मिलियन था और इस बार क्योंकि मार्केट अच्छा था, इंडस्ट्री अच्छा था, 1.5 मिलियन होता। आप कहते हैं कि अब इंडस्ट्री ग्रो करी 20% तो आप 1.2 मिलियन होता, वो कहता नहीं मेरा तो 1.5 मिलियन होता टोटल सेल्स। और जो बिकॉज ऑफ पेटेंट टेक्नोलॉजी ये है 1.7 मिलियन। तो आप कहते हैं 1.2 से 1.7 0.5 मिलियन ज़्यादा हुआ है, वो कहता है नहीं खाली 0.2 मिलियन ज़्यादा होता है, क्योंकि अदरवाइज भी मेरा बड़ा अच्छा होता विदाउट दिस थिंग, बिकॉज द मार्केट इज वेरी गुड, market sentiment is very good. No corona this year, so I would have sold more. So these things become a bit debatable. And whenever there is some debatable thing, you go for negotiations in the agreements. So there is a crude guideline for magnitude of royalty rate only, and opinion varies on usefulness of this rule. The second is the industry standards. Industry standards are something that in different industries, what is the royalty rate normally for different inventions. So you keep on having one invention, second invention, third invention, which are commercially worthy, which get utilized in the production processes or making a different products. So in that case, it is essentially derived from the market approach and the references of the royalty rates or purchase price in similar past transactions. Now, whatever it was in the past transaction is not known publicly, but people who are experienced, who have changed 3-4 jobs in their total career, 5-6 jobs in their total career, so they have got so much of experience of different, working in different corporate sector companies, that with all that thing, they are in a position to say that in the similar past transactions, which was similar, not same, but similar, that is somewhat similar transaction, what was the royalties. So this reflects the industry, technology, degree of innovation, degree of obsolescence, etc. And the typical rates in this case are information technology 1% to 5%, and the hardware, and up to 25% on the software, and up to 50% on games, electronic games, computer games, and all the video games you play. On consumer electronics, it is 1% to 3%, and on biotechnology, it is 8% to 12%, with a large upfront fee. Because in biotechnology, the overheads are very high, the fixed costs are very high. So the cost of R&D is very high. So the invention is very expensive. You have spent so much of money in the process, and therefore, when so much of money has been spent, what happens? You want to recover that investment as early as possible. So you keep high upfront fee. You say that give me 10 crore rupees lump sum and then 5% royalty rate, or 10% royalty rate, or 4% royalty rate. So royalty rate may be on other factors, but which is 8% to 12%, but along with the high amount of upfront fees. In the automotive sector, it is 2% to 5%. In the healthcare sector, it is 2% to 10%. Then in the rating and ranking methods, we compare the relative value of intellectual property assets on a subjective or objective scale. And it is often used in conjunction with industry standards method. And there are 5 components in this. One is the scoring criteria, second is the scoring system, third is the scoring scale, fourth is weighting factors, and fifth is decision rule. And based on this, for patents particularly, there are 15 Georgia-Pacific factors which are used as set of comparative criteria. These 15 Georgia-Pacific factors are very important. One is commercial success, current popularity and profitability of patented products and advantage of patent product over old products. Uh, should I explain? Say it will take enough time. I can explain each point. But then for term paper, those who have got something, we'll discuss term paper at 3:15. Okay, 5 minutes before 3:20, I'll leave you for this particular discussion. Okay, 3:15. So let me take 15 minutes more in completing this particular discussion. So the commercial success, current popularity, and profitability of the patented product. So in the Georgia Pacific factors, this is an important factor. That what is the profitability because of the patented product and advantage of the patented product over old products. It is you are selling old products as well as patented products. So patent products are being sold in large quantities or in just very small quantities. Your main sales continues to remain on the old type of product, and new patented product is sold which is only a few percent, 2%, 3% of the old products. Then it is not going to give you much mileage. But the patented product is increasing its in demand, and in a few years it becomes 80%, and the old product sales is only 20%. That indicates that the patented product is very important in terms of getting the profitability for the company. And next is the nature of patented invention, character of products embodying the invention, and benefits to those using the invention. What is this benefits to those using the invention? That those people who are using the invention, how much benefit they are getting. So these are the, this is the important point. Then what is the likely profit margin on the patented product? It can be, in terms of percentage, can be in terms of absolute value of currency. In any manner, it can be there. Then portion of profit credited to patented invention. And benefit to other non-patented items by sale of patented product. This I can explain you a little bit with a more tangible example. And I will take this thing. This number point, that benefit to other non-patented items by the sale of patented products. Suppose a company is making a soap, selling it in 60 rupees, like Pierce type of a soap, 60 rupees, and Lux type of soap by the same company, Hindustan Unilever, in about 15 rupees. The other company is selling the good quality soap in 40 rupees, and a soap comparable to Lux in, instead of 15, Lux in 15 rupees, that company is selling it in 13 rupees. Because 2-3 rupees, the other company have to keep lower price, then only they will be able to sell. Otherwise, if they keep equal price, people will say कि चलो हम तो हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर का अच्छी क्वालिटी का प्रोडक्ट है, बहुत पुरानी बेस्ट एस्टेब्लिश कंपनी है, तो other companies have to sell at a lower price so as to attract the budget customers. Now this company is selling a soap in 13 rupees compared to Lux. Now this company acquires a patent of a soap which gives fragrance from the body the whole day, and this patent, he pays a royalty fee, and the this particular product, he pays 40 rupees royalty fee and keep the price of this soap as 125 rupees. No, 125 rupees. the Hindustan Unilever's highest price product is 70 rupees. The Peer soap, which is the highest price soap, is 70 rupees. This company is selling a soap of 120 rupees, 125 rupees, and advertises that the fragrance of the soap from the body will be the whole day. And people buy one piece and they find really very good. So they buy, they become the very regular, loyal buyers, loyal customers for that particular brand, which is 125 rupees for a soap. Because they say this is the best of the whole day, you get the fragrance. You don't have to use, a DO at multiple times and all that. So this is very good soap. Now, this company which is selling this soap in 125 rupees, which is almost double the price of the soap of Hindustan Unilever from 65.70 to the 125 rupees. So this company's 13 rupees soap, they increase the price to from 13 rupees to 14 rupees. And still people will buy it. They say कि अरे ये तो उसी कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट है जो कि 125 रुपीज से सोप बनाती है. Which is no less than Lux. They can sell it at, instead of 13 rupees, they can sell it at 14.5. 14.5 rupees. Okay. So the non-patent items. So the point is benefit to other non-patent items like the 13 rupees soap by sale of patented product. So by selling the patented product in say 125 rupees, the other product can be sold instead of 13 rupees, it can be sold in 14.5 rupees easily. So then duration and other terms and conditions of the patent license. You're taking this patent license for duration. What are the other terms and conditions, including the technology obsolescence, etc. Then extent of to which infringer has made use of the patented invention. Have you understood this particular point? Extent to which infringer has made use of the patented invention. Yes or no?
So it means copied?
No. To say worldwide, infringement is going on. Where there is a new film is released, there are 1 million video cassettes. Video cassette means that DVDs which are sold in the grey market, which is all infringed. Now, what happens that suppose you estimate what will be the total infringement for this particular new film release. They say the total infringement will be uh, you know uh, 10 million DVDs, and total demand will be 100 million DVDs. So 10 million DVDs will be are being sold in the infringed manner. Now the total market is 100 million DVDs or 90 million DVDs now. Because 10 million are being sold by the infringers who are infringing your patent on the DVDs. So I have taken very large 100. Let me put it this way: keep that 20 million DVDs is the total potential demand, and infringers are doing it 50%. Now, if the infringers have already infringed 9 million DVDs, your market is left for only 11 million. But infringers have done it only 1 million. That way, your market is 19 million. Is this example clear? Out of the
Yes.
20 million potential demand, infringers will be infringing up to 50%. So when you are doing the technology transfer, that when you are giving that licensing terms of DVD to the distributors, then these distributors, they say that what is the total market and how much is already infringed. So they will sell it fast so that infringers have got lesser time to sell. Okay. So this is the concept of extent to which infringers have made use of the patented invention. Then prior and existing licenses under the patent. How many prior licenses are there? How many are the existing licenses? Then only the value can be found out for further licensing it in future. Then terms for licensing other technologies by the licensee. You are a company taking a license from me for a technology. Now, my company is licensing. I say that I will take 20% royalty from you. Then you go through my other records. So you say ki from all others, in the past 10 years, you have taken only 5% to 10% royalty. Why are you asking me to give 20% royalty? And you negotiate on basis of that. I say, no, this year it was more expensive, blah, blah, blah. But then it does not get, the argument is not sustainable and you easily are able to bargain it to 10%. Okay. So this is the terms for licensing other technology by the licensee and licensor both. So suppose I am giving a license to you, you are paying everywhere 10%. And if I am asking 20%, I know you'll not pay, give me, you are a very big company. You'll not give me 20%, you'll give me only 10%. Okay. That is the concept of licensing and licensor. The patent owner's licensing and marketing policy. Easy to understand. Commercial relationship between the licensor and the licensee. Like two companies, they have got a old long relationship in terms of good relationship between the R&D and the commercial thing. So with the two companies that have good relationship for long, they will have a soft terms of licensing. With the new company, you may be giving license at your own terms. Then nature and scope of the license. You may give the license for a particular territory, only African continent, within India, only in northern states, and like that. Then nature and scope of the license territories, field of use, and exclusivity. You give exclusive license for selling the product you are producing. Suppose you have got a technology with which a person is making a new product. So that product, you say you can sell it only in Rajasthan. You are giving license to one company in Rajasthan. You are giving another license to another company in Punjab. You can sell it only in Punjab. You give a license. As it, you can sell it only in Madhya Pradesh. Such agreements can be there, and it is the where you are, you are restricting the field of use and the sales by the companies to particular regions. Then industry-specific practices for comparable patents, establish royalty agreements, and experts' opinions. So I think 1 minute. Yes, I think I somehow it got missed. In these industry standards, information technology 1.5% up to this. I think I discussed it. Healthcare 2 to 10%, automotive 2 to 5%, biotechnology this thing. I think after biotechnology I did not discuss. Automotive 2 to 5%, healthcare 2 to 10%. And the last is the expert's opinion. Okay. Ultimately, finally, the experts would tell that what should be the terms for licensing. So people who are adequately aware of the system that what should be the royalty rates and all that. The experts can tell you that there is a reasonable royalty rate from both sides point of view, neither to favor the licensee, not to favor the licensor. They say that there is a good amount of license fee. So experts' opinion is also very important. Now there are surrogate patent value indicators. You know the meaning of surrogate, which is not the real one. So surrogate patent value indicators are also very important. You see the patent portfolio analysis. There is a number of patents obtained by an organization reflects R&D level and filing activity, but not necessarily quality. A company has 10,000 patents, and you're asking for a license for one of those 10,000 patents. तो सर इतनी बड़ी कंपनी है, इसके 10,000 पेटेंट्स हैं, और 10,000 पेटेंट्स वर्दी हैं या वर्थलेस हैं? पेटेंट तो फाइल कर दिए पर उनका कुछ वैल्यू नहीं है ना। एक कभी हुआ कि IIT मद्रास के एक आया था रिपोर्ट कि दे हैव फाइल्ड 1,000 पेटेंट्स. So the reaction was कि out of the 1,000 patents, what is the revenue you have earned by licensing or technology transfer of any of the patents to the industry? Don't say that you have filed 1,000 patents. Tell how much money you have earned from all the 999 patents so far. Okay, so the patent portfolio analysis, that a company which has got very high number of patents is considered to be worthy, although it may not necessarily have a very high quality patent. The second surrogate measure is payment of patent maintenance. Suppose a company which has got 8,000 patents, for which a company is paying the patent renewal fee. And what is the patent renewal fee budget? A company is spending 800 crore rupees for patent renewal, and other companies paying only 80 crore rupees for patent renewal. Third company is paying only 8 crore rupees for patent renewal. Fourth company is paying only 20 lakhs rupees for the patent renewal. Which is the best? Which is the best in all these?
So higher one.
The company which is paying patent renewal fee of 800 crore rupees, you say कि इतनी बड़ी कंपनी है, 800 crore रुपये का पेटेंट मेंटेनेंस फीस देते हैं ये. तो इनसे अगर हम पेटेंट लेते हैं तो होता है ना कि अगर बड़ी दुकान से लेते हैं, IIT के पास में एवरग्रीन है, अब एवरग्रीन से लेते हैं तो यू नो कि अच्छी स्वीट्स मिलेंगे आपको. आप अगर मैकडोनाल्ड का बर्गर लेते हैं तो यू नो कि अच्छी क्वालिटी का बर्गर होगा, यू आर श्योर ऑफ द क्वालिटी. इफ यू टेक डोमिनोज पिज्ज़ा, यू आर श्योर दैट कि डोमिनोज का पिज्ज़ा अच्छी क्वालिटी का होगा. तो इसी तरह से जिससे आप लाइसेंस ले रहे हैं वो 800 करोड़ रुपीज़ दिखता है, तो आप कहेंगे भाई ये बहुत बड़ा वो है, इसके बाद में इतना बड़ा पोर्टफोलियो है, इतना सारा वो है, तो इसका जो पेटेंट है इट विल बी मोर वर्दी. And secondly, such companies, they maintain good relation with their clients to whom they are licensing the particular patent or technology. So what happens that these companies which are marketing it, their technology, if they're very big, you have the confidence that they will, if you need something in addition to what the patented technology is. So in addition to that technology, you can get further services of their competent scientific manpower. So this is the great advantage and trust you have in that. Then another surrogate measure is continued significant prior art citation. suppose there is a patent of a company and that patent is being cited by in अपने स्पीकर को ऑफ कर लो जिसकी आवाज आ रही है वो जिसके साइड से आवाज आ रही है वो अपने स्पीकर को अपने को म्यूट कर ले आवाज बंद हो जाएगी so then a company's patents 3-4 patents are so good that they are being cited by all other future patents. We discuss about the patent citation. जो पेटेंट साइटेशन हो रहा है इतना तो यू से कि अरे बहुत बड़ी कंपनी है तो इतने अच्छे फंडामेंटल पेटेंट्स हैं which are being cited in so many more several thousand patents has been cited. That is, this is also a surrogate measure of IP valuation. The royalty income. The studies indicate that investors value $1 of patent royalty 2-3 times higher than $1 of ordinary income. So,
Sir, what is this citation? Citation sir, क्या है?
साइटेशन ये है कि एक कंपनी है जिसके कि 5000 पेटेंट्स हैं तो 5000 में से उसके पास में ऐसे 10 पेटेंट्स हैं जो कि उस फील्ड में है जिसने जो भी कुछ फर्दर किया है काम उन सब आगे वाले फ्यूचर पेटेंट्स ने उसके पेटेंट को साइट किया है ना जब आप कहते हैं कि इसका नोबेल लॉरेट है इसका काम सब लोगों ने साइटेशन हुआ है बहुत अच्छा रिसर्च था उसका तो इस तरह से जिसका पेटेंट इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग था कि सब लोग प्रायर आर्ट में उसको साइटेशन दे रहे हैं जो प्रायर आर्ट में इतने सारे लोग साइटेशन दे रहे हैं तो अच्छा होगा पेटेंट जब भी तो साइटेशन है ना उसका you remember you were there in the class or not when I discussed the actual patent application का जो था ना पेटेंट ग्रांट जो होता है तो उसमें साइटेशन था एक था पेटेंट साइटेशन के नॉन पेटेंट साइटेशन
यस यस
तो वो पेटेंट साइटेशन है जिसका पेटेंट इतनी बार साइट हो रहा है साइटेशन में रेफर किया जा रहा है ठीक है ना रेफरेंस समझ लो इसको which is being referred in so many more patents तो इतना जिसका इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग रेफरेंस है तो उस तरह का जो हर पेटेंट जो करता है उसका रेफरेंस देता है लिटरेचर में तो वो इम्पोर्टेंट है
ओके
तो आपका जो स्टडीज इंडिकेट दैट इन्वेस्टर्स एक आपके यहाँ आपको वो हैं you know you are expanding your company from 50 crore to 500 crore rupees now for expansion you need investors तो वो देखते हैं कि आपका जो इनकम है वो कितना है आपकी इनकम suppose your annual profit is approximately 10 crore rupees per year now if the 10 crore rupees is a normal profit so it is okay fine but if the 10 crore rupees is the profit because of the patented products and all that then this profit is considered much more important than the normal profit which is without selling the patented product. So it studies that investors value $1 of patent royalty 2 to 3 times higher than $1 of ordinary income, higher profit margin and more stable income. So the जो patent की जो royalty होती है that is and the profit is 2-3 times more than the other one. Then Monte Carlo analysis. It is a refinement of the income method. It assigns a range of values to variables used in calculating net present value. For example, cost variables, price premium, and additional units of sales due to the patent. Then this method assigns a probability to individual values within a range through the probability distribution, which could be uniform, triangular, or normal, or log normal. So these probability distributions, you try out which is the best, and there are methods to find out which is the best distribution, and then calculate the net present values. So NPVs are calculated in the repeated manner 500 to 1000 times based on random selection of the probability methods random selection probability weighted values assigned to each variable. And multiple net present values are then plotted by frequency of occurrence, indicating most likely net present value. So in these, when you do the same thing 500 to 1000 times, you generate the maximum likelihood estimator, and that gives you the net present value, which is which frequency of which occurrence is the highest. So you get a distribution, normal distribution of the net present values, and whichever the highest net present value, which is highest probability wise, you take that. So this way you can use the refined and much more improved and complex version of net present value method or the income method through the Monte Carlo analysis. Then the real options is based on the Black-Scholes formula for valuing stock options. 5 variables which are important in this case are remaining development cost to commercialize IP. You have filed a patent application with provisional specifications. Now, what is the remaining development cost? It will cost you how much to commercialize the IP. So, by the time you finalize your patent and submit the final application from the provisional application, then mean market value of products embodying similar patents, and time until commercial utilization, and product value volatility, risk-free rate of return, and patent expiration period. These are the important issues, variables which are important for the Black-Scholes formula for valuing the stock options. Then option value reside in the right to wait and see what happens to stock price and to exercise or not based on the IP investment. It is viewed as an option to develop the IP further or to abandon it depending on future technology and market information. The real option is most useful for IP investments with long-term returns and high risk because it recognizes that risk of IP investment is not uniform over the time, but decreases as additional technical and market information becomes available. So these are about the real options, and we summarize that in increasing order of complexity, cost-based method is simplest, then market condition-based method is the next to this in complexity, then estimate income-based methods, NPV method is still more complex, then uncertainty-based methods allowing for riskiness of cash flows is much more complex, then flexibility, decision tree analysis-based method, then changing risk option pricing theory-based methods are still more complex, which include discrete time-based methods, binomial model-based methods, and continuous time Black-Scholes option pricing model-based methods. Now, the last slide is steps for valuation of intellectual property. You have to do collection of data and analysis with due care and diligence. You have to find out the choice of valuation methods. Normally, you go by valuation of the method, valuation of the IP by 3-4 methods, and take an average of all the 3 or 4. Then economic life of intellectual property analysis and estimation of IP value, and use the IP value in licensing and technology transfer agreement. This is very important, and this is the last slide. Okay, now you can ask me any questions on even the asking about the क्या उसके बारे में क्या पूछ रहे थे, टर्म पेपर के बारे में बताओ. Yes, you want to discuss anything?
सर आपने जो GIs बोला है तो उसमें आपने ये बोला रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर 1 to 10 मतलब इस तरह ग्रुप 1 के होंगे, फिर 11 to 20 ग्रुप 2 का होगा।
हाँ,
एंड सो ये इंडिया के जो रजिस्ट्रेशन हैं उसके थ्रू निकालना है, जो मैं
हाँ।
एक PDF में दे रखे हैं जहाँ पे जो
बिल्कुल।
रजिस्टर हुआ है।
बिल्कुल।
ठीक है।
अच्छा, इसका जो है एप्लीकेशन का डेट अलग हो सकता है, पर जो डेट ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन है उससे हमें सीरियल नंबर निकालते हैं।
ओके
ओके, जो पहला हुआ दार्जिलिंग टी, फिर दूसरा, तीसरा, चौथा, तो पहले 10 हुए, फिर 11 से 20 हुए, फिर 21 से 30 हुए, फिर 31 से 40 हुए। ठीक है ना, जो रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर है, रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर का जो सीरियल ऑर्डर है उससे लेना है हमें।
सर जैसे आपने दार्जिलिंग टी का बताया, तो दार्जिलिंग टी और दार्जिलिंग टी ट्रेडमार्क दोनों का 1 और 2 दार्जिलिंग टी पे आ जाता है।
किसका?
मतलब
दार्जिलिंग टी और
दार्जिलिंग टी ट्रेडमार्क दोनों का 1 और 2 नंबर इसी का था जहां तक
ट्रेडमार्क
मैंने।
में जीआई की बात कर रहे हैं हम, जीआई, ज्योग्राफिकल इंडिकेशन।
ओके
दार्जिलिंग टी का जो ज्योग्राफिकल इंडिकेशन रजिस्टर हुआ, दैट वाज द फर्स्ट जीआई ऑफ इंडिया।
ओके
उसके बाद में सेकंड में अभी समय मेरे पास में नहीं है, आई कैन शो यू, मैं बताऊंगा। चलो ठीक है, आई थिंक लेट मी टेक अप द जीआई इन द थर्सडे क्लास। ओके,
ओके
तो मैं काफ़ी सारी जीआई दिखा दूंगा, यू विल गेट ए फील ऑफ इट। तो पेटेंट को विल कंटिन्यू इन द नेक्स्ट मंडे। इस थर्सडे को मैं जीआई दिखा देता हूँ, तो इट विल हेल्प यू ऑल। ठीक है,
ठीक है सर।
ऑन दिस थर्सडे आई टेक द जीआई क्लास, राइट? चलो, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I'm Gayatri and I want to speak to you. I had sent a request mail also. Can I do that?
हाँ बताओ, ऑल ऑफ यू हैव माय नंबर, यू कैन टेल मी। कर लेना बात, कर लेना शाम को, कर लेना बात,
So what time should I call?
कभी भी कर लेना बात।
Right, sir. I'll do that.
ठीक है, चलो, ओके, एनीबडी एल्स? तो शैल वी क्लोज टुडेज क्लास? 3:30 होने वाला है।
Yes.
एनी